When most people think of Nelson Mandela, they picture a freedom fighter, a statesman, and a symbol of reconciliation. They remember the man who united a divided nation and inspired the world through forgiveness and hope. But there is another side to Madiba's legacy that is often overlooked. It is written not in political speeches or government buildings, but in the roar of lions crossing ancient migration routes, the footsteps of elephants wandering freely between nations, and the livelihoods of thousands of African families whose futures are linked to wildlife and tourism. Nelson Mandela understood something profound: a nation's freedom meant little if its natural heritage was lost forever. When South Africa emerged from apartheid in 1994, the country faced enormous challenges. Poverty, inequality, unemployment, and social reconstruction dominated the national agenda. Conservation could easily have become an afterthought. Instead, Mandela saw an opportunity. He believed that wildlife, wilderness, and tourism could become powerful tools for peace, economic growth, and regional cooperation. He envisioned a future where protected areas would not only conserve animals but would also create jobs, attract international investment, strengthen communities, and unite nations that had once been divided by conflict. His vision extended far beyond South Africa's borders and embraced the idea that nature itself could help heal a continent. One of the greatest examples of this vision was the creation of the Peace Parks movement. In 1997, Mandela joined conservationist Dr. Anton Rupert and Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands as founding patrons of the Peace Parks Foundation. Together, they championed an extraordinary idea: remove political barriers to wildlife and reconnect landscapes that had once functioned as one natural ecosystem. The result was the birth of transfrontier conservation areas, often called peace parks, vast protected landscapes spanning multiple countries where wildlife, tourism, conservation, and communities could benefit together. His support helped attract international funding, political cooperation, and global attention to conservation projects that might otherwise never have become reality. Stretching across South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, this immense conservation landscape links the legendary Kruger National Park with Mozambique's Limpopo National Park and Zimbabwe's Gonerejau National Park. The park created one of the largest protected ecosystems in Africa, allowing wildlife to move across thousands of square kilometers of restored habitat. One of the most powerful moments in the project's history came in October 2001. Nelson Mandela personally opened the border gate between South Africa and Mozambique as the first elephants were transported from Kruger into Mozambique's recovering wilderness. It was far more than a wildlife relocation. It was a symbol of peace replacing division, cooperation replacing conflict, and hope replacing the scars of war. For Mandela, conservation was never only about animals. He believed local communities had to benefit directly from protecting nature. This philosophy became the foundation of many community-based ecotourism initiatives across southern Africa. The idea was simple but revolutionary: wildlife should create opportunities for people living alongside it. Today, thousands of jobs in lodges, guiding, hospitality, conservation management, transport, crafts, and tourism can trace their roots to the model Mandela championed, one where conservation and economic development work together rather than against one another. His influence also helped inspire partnerships that continue to transform conservation today. Mandela consistently advocated for international cooperation and long-term partnerships to secure Africa's natural heritage for future generations. His belief that conservation could uplift people remains central to many modern conservation initiatives. Tourism would become a powerful force for protecting landscapes while generating sustainable economic growth. Initiatives such as Open Africa reflected this vision by connecting rural communities, cultural experiences, and conservation destinations into tourism routes that brought visitors and economic opportunities to places often overlooked by traditional tourism markets. Mandela recognized that when visitors travel through Africa's wild spaces, spend money in local communities, and experience the continent's extraordinary natural heritage, everyone benefits. Nature becomes valuable not because it can be consumed, but because it can be preserved. This philosophy continues to shape ecotourism across southern Africa today. The results of Mandela's vision can be seen everywhere. They can be seen in thriving elephant populations crossing international boundaries. They can be seen in recovering wilderness areas that were once ravaged by conflict. They can be seen in local communities earning livelihoods from tourism and conservation. They can be seen in international visitors traveling thousands of kilometers to experience Africa's wild places. And they can be seen in the growing understanding that protecting nature and improving human lives are not competing goals, they are inseparable. Today, millions of hectares of protected land across southern Africa contribute to biodiversity conservation, tourism revenue, community development, and regional cooperation. Many of these achievements were made possible because Nelson Mandela used his influence, reputation, and leadership to rally governments, donors, conservationists, and ordinary people behind a common cause. Madiba once helped free a nation. Less widely known is that he also helped free landscapes. He helped create a future where elephants could once again walk ancient routes, where wildlife could move beyond man-made boundaries, and where people could find prosperity through protecting the natural world rather than destroying it. The wilderness of southern Africa stand today as living monuments to that vision. Every elephant crossing a border, every lion roaming a protected landscape, every tourist who marvels at Africa's beauty, and every community benefiting from conservation is part of Nelson Mandela's enduring legacy. His greatest gift was not only freedom for people, it was hope for the land itself, and generations to come will continue to walk in the wild places he helped protect.